isn't if Tiffany Stratton is a star. It's what do we do to fix her title reign? For over 260 days, Tiffany Stratton has sat at the very top of the food chain, and I believe she's the only woman, and possibly person as a whole, who has not been pinned within WWE this year. However, some are feeling there's a little missing from her reign. While Tiffany is obviously a top tier in-ring talent, it's the actual stories and feuds for her reigns that are kind of just a little off the mark. I believe throughout that 260 days, she's only had 4 to 5 different challengers, with one of those challengers facing off against Tiffany 5 different times. It's time we switch it up a little bit. Her reign is in desperate need of some new contenders, some new storylines, something to solidify her as the future of WWE and show that Tiffy Time will be around for a long time. Now, I do think the loss of both Bianca Belair and Naomi to the SmackDown women's roster was a deep hit, but we do still have other options both on SmackDown and even down at NXT. So let's go through some of the feuds I would book for her to help give Tiffany just a little bit of a level up for her reign. First off, we have to talk about Nikki Cross, who is currently a part of the Wyatt Six as Abby the Witch. Now, we've seen Nikki over the last few weeks just creeping around, being just who you expect her to be with the Wyatt Six. She's slightly off, a little chaotic, and you don't know what to expect from her. Which is exactly why Tiffany Stratton wouldn't take her seriously when she first steps to her. It's actually perfect timing to have Nikki Cross start lingering around Tiffany right now, while her whole focus is getting to Crown Jewel and potentially beating Stephanie Vaquer to prove that she is the better champion. Now, like I said in the beginning, Tiffany originally pays Nikki absolutely no mind. And we can either have her get a visit from Uncle Howdy himself, basically letting it be known that the Wyatt Six are taking over SmackDown and she has something that they need. I'm not saying Howdy touches her at all, just spooks her a little bit, because, it's October. It's the perfect time for us to lean more into the Wyatt Six's theme. Let's get some spooky shit going. And Tiffany Stratton is the perfect one. In the movies, she is the girl who would have to face off against the bad guy anyway. She's blonde, she's pretty, she's rich, she's even considered a bit of a mean girl at times. She's perfect. But maybe even that doesn't get to her. And maybe it takes Nikki Cross, with a little help from the Wyatt Six, destroying Tiffany's dressing room so that when she finally comes back, she sees flowers strewn everywhere, glass broken on the floor, her things thrown all around the room, and on the mirror, written in her favorite red lipstick, or whatever color, is "We're coming." That absolutely spooks Tiffany, and now she's on notice because she knows Nikki Cross is not just playing around. This is not for play. This is real. Now, this is a feud that I would see go on for at least 1 to 2 matches. Something that gives Tiffany a little bit of credibility. Something that shows that Tiffany is not afraid to step into the ring with anyone. Yes, we've seen her step into the ring with legends like Trish Stratus. Yeah, we've seen her step into the ring with people like Nia Jax. But Nikki Cross is a beast in her own right, because not only is Nikki good, she's actually fantastic, but she also has that Wyatt Six magic that she can use to help her. But this is not I think she should win, she should take the title from Tiffany. This is just, hey, here's a feud that we could do that I think could help. And yeah, I would really like to see Tiffany Stratton versus Nikki Cross. Or Abby the Witch, Zelina Vega is another contender that could really, really help Tiffany Stratton. And to be quite honest, Zelina is so underestimated and so underutilized, it just does not make sense. We haven't really seen too much of her since she lost the women's US title. But it's time to change that. Because just like Tiffany could use this, Zelina could too. And I'm thinking a heel turn. Tiffany can either straight up accept Zelina's challenge to go toe-to-toe, or Zelina could take it. She could force it. She could go the way of earning it in a number 1 contenders match, but that's too easy. That's too nice. Let's just let her attack Tiffany, catch her off guard, and get herself a title match. Just like Zelina though, Tiffany absolutely understands what it's like to be underestimated, what it's like for people not to think you're enough. So just like Zelina does, Tiffany has something to prove in this match. And that's really the attitude that she adopts in a lot of these feuds I have, is that she's proving the fans wrong. You can think she's just some blonde Barbie, While she is that pretty girl, that mean girl, that rich girl, she's also on that road to becoming your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. Yes, I had to steal AJ's words, but like, it just fits. This is also the perfect chance to give Tiffany more mic time, to get her doing more promos in the ring, because I definitely think that's also an aspect that has been hurting this title reign. Sure, we see Tiffany backstage all the time, but why is she not in the ring giving us these same crosses that she has backstage? Like, yes, we see Tiffany backstage crossing paths with Nia Jax, Stephanie Vaquer, Jade Cargill. But let her go out to the ring and deliver those same promos in front of a crowd. Because if the problem is you're nervous about a promo with Tiffany Stratton after the whole thing with her and Charlotte both going completely crazy, the only way for her to get better is to practice. And the only way to practice is in front of the loud crowd. Sink or swim. Now, to add a little bit of spice to this one, I would absolutely love it if there was an opportunity where Zelina even came close to pulling it off, where she rattles Tiffany just a little bit, where Tiffany understands that I may feel like I'm always underestimated, but I can no longer underestimate any opponent that steps to me. This is serious. And if I want to be this champion, if I want to continue to hold this and break records and prove the world wrong, I have to stay on top of it. This next one is probably a bit of a stretch, but I'm going to throw it in anyway. Lash Legend. After Evolution 2 and the great showing she had in the Battle Royal, I'm actually quite shocked that they aren't utilizing her more. And with Lash Legend not being booked for NXT Showdown, I think it is time to pull her up. Now, I did read somewhere online that you don't necessarily have to be pulled to the main roster anymore. You can be both on NXT and the main roster, as we're seeing very clearly with Javon Evans. However, if we're not going to put Lash in some type of title scene, in some type of title picture, in some type of deep feud, let's pull her on up, because Tiffany Stratton needs her. Because this one is a feud of power and glam. This one gives them both an opportunity to showcase their full skill set, because both of these women are absolute beasts in the ring. And while Lash Legend has her on a strength basis, Tiffany's agility and her flexibility will really help her excel within this feud. I think this one could be a good one too if we really just want to shake Tiffany up and shake the main roster up within SmackDown. Since Bianca and Naomi left, we've all noticed that void. We've all noticed that SmackDown's women's division is kind of just missing a little I would have thrown both BFAB and Meech in here, but it looks like they're stuck in a vortex with Julia and Kiana James. And like, I just want to see it be for a title with them four. Like, if we can just focus on the US title and not tag matches, that'll be great. But I digress. Last but certainly not least, and really she's not last because I have one more, but I don't really know if I should count her much. But one of my two picks to actually dethrone Tiffany Stratton, Jordynne Grace. This match kind of gives me Beauty and the Beast vibes, but don't get it twisted. Jordynne is absolutely stunning, but that woman is a beast. And it gives Tiffany Stratton the opportunity to prove that she too is a beauty and a beast. 1000% I would need this feud to have some type of stipulation in the title match. Maybe Jordynne is able to pin Tiffany Stratton in just a regular match, which gets her the opportunity for a title match. And since she's pinned Tiffany once, she's going in a lot more cocky. She can do this. But Tiffany is also cocky because she's knocked down giants bigger than Jordynne Grace before, and she can do it again, which is why I want the stipulation. How many times these two go back and forth, whatever, the stipulation would be great. And like I said, I definitely think Jordynne has what it takes to knock Tiffany off of her throne. As for that second pick, I would have said Julia, but I really don't want a double champion. I really want to see them utilize both of those titles and push them more. What I believe they're going to do on Raw is something I love, which is using Becky and AJ to both raise the Intercontinental title up. But I definitely hope that it goes back to mid-card girls being utilized more, because that title shouldn't just be for the main eventers. That title should be for any and every woman, whether she's top tier or down in NXT. I want to see that title be used to make a star. Becky and AJ may not need it now, but they can help make a star later on. So we should be doing the same thing over on SmackDown. Julia is an absolute top tier talent, but we need to make her a star. She's already a star, yes, but like make her a bigger star over on SmackDown. and use her star power to create another star. I don't want one person just hoarding all the titles right now. Like, that's not going to help the SmackDown's women's division. Let's just keep that separate. And of course, I have to talk about my second pick, but like, y'all should already know who it is, because of course I couldn't end this video without talking about Bianca. Now, I already have a whole nother thing that I'm pushing her towards, which is why I am not really sold on her being the one to dethrone Tiffany anymore. However, previously, I've expected Bianca to come back sooner rather than later, but right now I'm pretty stuck on her coming back at Rumble. And I thought that Bianca could be the one to prove Tiffany wrong. After SummerSlam, Tiffany made a post that said, who's next? Because she's taken out legend after icon. She took out Charlotte Flair. She took out Nia Jax. She took out Trish Stratus. She took out Jade Cargill. Who is going to be the one to take her out? And with their past, Bianca Belair was simply perfect. And as y'all know, I would love to see my girl with gold back around her waist. Singles gold specifically. However, I do not think it's going to be Bianca Belair anymore. And if she proves me wrong, I will love that lady forever. I already am, but that's beside the point. However, I don't see Bianca Belair coming back before 2026. So my pick to dethrone Tiffany Stratton would have to go to Jordynne Grace whenever we get there. Doesn't have to be now, could be later, could be next year, could be WrestleMania. I'm just saying that's my pick. So let me know down in the comments how you're feeling about Tiffany Stratton's current reign and who you would book her to go against that would help make that reign just slightly better. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it, subscribe to my channel, and turn on post notifications so that you're notified every time I post. Until the last bell rings, bye guys.